Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. You're watching Unmissable. I'm Sneha Koshi. Tonight, we're taking you through three deep dives. Number one, Supreme Court tears into Mamata government, is visibly irked by the Calcutta High Court commotion last time, asks, is this Jantar Mantar or a court? What does this mean for a poll-bound West Bengal? Our deep dive two, Trump, Greenland and the Arctic game. What's really happening with Greenland? Is this only about Greenland or is it about strategic geopolitical change? And what are the interests? US, Russia, NATO and beyond. And day to night, NASA SpaceX Crew 11 returns. Historic. First, the headlines. Flight A1-101 from Delhi to New York diverts after Iranian airspace closure. Right engine damaged during taxiing in dense fog. Passengers safe. MEA prepares to facilitate return of Indian nationals from Iran amid escalating tension in the country. Issues advisory urging Indians in Iran to leave immediately using available commercial flights. Dehradun police begins extradition of prime accused Yagiraj Avasti in the Angel Chakma's murder case. Accused is currently in Nepal. Tripura Chief Minister assures strict action against the accused. Big admission by Lashkar-e-Taiba Commander Hafiz Abdul Rauf says Operation Sindoor was a major attack. Allah saved us. Bangladesh cricket plunges into turmoil. Bangladeshi cricketers boycott matches. Vandalism outside Mirpur Stadium. Demand grows for BCP director M. Nazmul Islam's resignation over his Indian agent remark on Tamim Iqbal. Expelled Congress MLA Rahul Mamkutatil remanded to judicial custody. Kerala High Court orders remand after 3 days of him being in police custody. DK Shivkumar likely to visit Delhi on Friday amid Karnataka's leadership buzz. Deputy Chief Minister may meet Rahul Gandhi after recent Mysuru interaction. Congress downplays speculation. Supreme Court finally has stepped into a constitutional face-off between a chief minister and a central probe agency. And what unfolded in court today is not routine judicial commentary. It is clear warning shot. The Supreme Court has come down heavily on the West Bengal government, calling the alleged interference by state police in an enforcement directorate probe a serious issue that strikes at the rule of law. The message from the top court was unambiguous. State police cannot interfere in an ED investigation. First and most crucially, the Supreme Court has stayed all FIRs filed against ED officials in this case and ordered that no coercive action be taken against central officers till the next hearing. Second, the court has directed the West Bengal government to preserve all evidence, documents and electronic devices and CCTV footage linked to the raids. No deletions, no tampering, no excuses. Third, the Supreme Court has issued formal notices to Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and the West Bengal police seeking their response within 2 weeks. And fourth, the court reiterated a core constitutional balance. Central agencies cannot interfere in the electoral activities of political parties, but states cannot obstruct lawful investigations by central agencies either. This, the court said, is essential to uphold the rule of law. Referring to the ED raids at the IPAC director's residence, ED told the court that Mamata and the police barged in, obstructed them and stole crucial documents. Mamata Banerjee claimed this to be outright lies. Court came down heavily, triggered by what ED claimed was a call to gather by TMC legal cell. An attempt, ED claimed, was to disrupt proceedings in Calcutta High Court. On January 9th, the court asked, is this Jantar Mantar or court? In fact, CBI officers being arrested, investigators blocked from entering premises. The Chief Minister allegedly sitting on a dharna to stop officials. A sitting law minister allegedly shouting slogans during a bail hearing. There's so much more that really has unfolded over the last few days. A crucial hearing by the Supreme Court today as it teared into the Mamata government. I'm being joined at this point by Dr. Mohammed Amin, who is a former Joint Director, Election Commission of India, Joy Malik, who's a spokesperson for BJP, and Barno Barman, who's a political analyst. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining me. Well, first to you, very simply put, Dr. Mohammed Amin, what do you really make out of what's unfolding in a poll-bound West Bengal? These were unprecedented scenes at so many levels. A chief minister, her police, and the enforcement directorate. As somebody who's been a former joint director for the Election Commission of India, what do you make out of this?
Sneha, actually I have seen at the time of the SIR and so many times earlier also she was blaming to Home Minister and Prime Minister of India in every incident, always quoting. And all the places directly she is going to intervene in that. She cannot take a law in their hand. She cannot enforce their agencies against the central agencies. That is not the law. If they have any problem, just they can advise and they can send them. They can do anything, but not she cannot go directly as a Chief Minister of State and intervene in that investigation agencies and take everything in their hand. So this is
but to what Mamata Banerjee is claiming, it's her poll strategy that has been stolen.
No, whatever the papers are there, whatever the party papers are, any papers are there, they are always sealed in front of the party where the seizures are going on. When the law agencies are there and their means their officers are also there and their IPAC agency is also there and their witnesses are there also. So they can, every paper are sealed in front of them and all the signatures is always there. And whenever they are open, they will call for the, they are going to open the paper and submit to anywhere or any inquiry for that.
Okay, Barno Barman. Barno Barman, you've heard Dr. Mohammed Amin speak at this point. Come in, Barno Barman. How do you respond to what you've just heard the former Election Commission members speak? It's not just that, it's also what the Supreme Court has come down extremely heavily on the Mamata government.
No, I have heard the entire proceeding of Supreme Court when it was going on in today's afternoon. I would like to say a few things. Yesterday in High Court, the Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju has said there were no seizure made on that trade. First of all, if there is any coal scam has happened, then there are 3 directors of IPAC. Then why are you only raiding one director who is looking after the Bengal polls? First, this has to be answered. Second of all, whenever election is round the corner, these hyperactiveness of ED or CBI, we can notice. So, Mamata Banerjee is Chief Minister, obviously, but she is the Supremo of All India Trinamool Congress also. So, she can go to any extent to save her strategy, as you may have seen that LOP of West Bengal, BJP leader Shubhendu Adhikari said, we have all the potential candidate lists from after the raid.
Barno Barman,
so
to any extent, Mamata Banerjee can go to any extent. Is that what you are saying?
Definitely, we
any extent, because the court has very clearly said you have crossed the constitutional limits.
No.
That's not up for discussion.
To understand election. See, ED as enforcement director, they are not working as enforcement director. They are working as election duty commissioner. So, if they want to steal the strategy of any party, then the party Supremo will obviously do whatever is needs to be done to save her.
I'll get to Dr. Mohammed Amin to respond to that, because you've obviously brought in the angle of the elections as well. But very quickly, Joy Malik, respond.
How you can say that the papers were related to
saw it clearly.
Dr. Mohammed Amin, I'll just come to you. Allow me to go to Joy Malik. Joy Malik, quickly, please respond.
Yes, sir. The thing is that from day one, we have been observing one thing that Mamata Banerjee was absolutely furious on this process of SIR. We don't know what was the problem with her, but
Where
the
SIR is
SIR
coming
process
into it,
was
sir?
absolutely clear that it is to produce a very neat and clean voter list.
Sir, you have taken it to altogether a very different angle, and that is SIR.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'll tell you.
And SIR, the agony or the angst of SIR is not with just Mamata Banerjee. A lot of other chief ministers are also saying that, and your opposition is as well saying that. So, I mean, I would ask you to directly, one, respond to what Barno Barman has said, and more importantly, what the court has said. Because the court has also said that the centre also does not have the right to interfere into the poll activities of a state government.
Exactly.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. Please. First and foremost, the Supreme Court today has told this clearly that Mamata Banerjee and her government doesn't have the right to interrupt or engage in anything where an investigation is going on by the ED or CBI. And what they have done is literally not their job. Now, just imagine what was the purpose, what actually happened that the chief minister have to rush to a private company office to retrieve a few files and data.
Don't quote her as only chief minister. She is the supremo of our party also.
The Trinamool Congress leaders, what they do, they cry all the year long that the ED and CBI is just coming before
we
the
cry all
elections.
the year. Trinamool cry all the year
Okay,
long.
Barno Barman,
Yes.
what is Mamata Banerjee first? Is she the chief minister of Bengal, holding a constitutional position, or is she the TMC Supremo? What is she first and foremost while she's at the post of a chief minister? A simple question. What does she need to uphold first? The constitution or the politics?
If there any threat on her party, she will keep mum just because as she's a CM.
Are you saying a chief minister has to keep mum? There are no constitutional ways to actually deal with that? Barno Barman, use your words very carefully. Nobody is asking Mamata Banerjee to keep quiet.
Ma'am, that's a simple question to you. You are the anchor of this channel, right? If something happens to your family, won't you run to save
Run
your
into
family?
where?
Who's
Run
family?
where?
Who's
Run where and run from whom and run to whom? Are the questions that we are raising at this point. Very quickly,
if
Joy
there is
Malik
a threat
respond.
to your family,
No, absolutely. No.
if there is a
What he's
threat
trying
to your
to say
family,
is,
will you sit
Wait,
here?
let
You will definitely rush there to save your family.
Let me finish.
No matter where you go, what you do.
I think that's a very weird analogy. Firstly, since you have asked me a very
But she's
personal
supremo as
question,
well.
there are ways to handle
He is a
threats to
supremo of
families.
Trinamool Congress as well. You have to understand this thing also. Court
Let me
has
finish.
also said it very clearly that ED has no right to intervene into any political matter.
Okay,
But
heard
then,
you.
when the LOC of the West
Okay, I
Bengal
hear you.
BJP
I hear you what
leaders,
you're saying.
even though
But
they
I would
say
like
that
to
we have
get
all the
Dr.
potential
Mohammed
leads after
Amin to
the
come in at this
race.
point. How do you respond to what TMC is saying? TMC is saying Mamata Banerjee is not only the chief minister. Don't address her as a chief minister. She is also the party supremo. How do you respond to that?
Not only as the chief minister.
That's what I'm
She is
saying.
the supremo
That's
of the
exactly
party
what I
as well.
said. That's
So
exactly
that's
what I
good.
said, Barno Barman.
ED can take the
Dr.
action
Mohammed
against
Amin,
her
please respond.
if she is the president of the TMC. So if doing anything against the enforcement directorate, so action they can take the action against her. If she is the president of the TMC, she cannot take the law in their hand. This is very clear cut.
Let the court decide. No, let the court decide. Let the court decide.
First,
Court has already
first
stated
she is
very
elected like
clearly.
Court
See,
has
when the
decided.
BJP leaders are saying we have the
Court
potential
has
list
decided.
from the
The Supreme
race,
Court has
from the
decided.
severe of the
And they have
race,
already told.
and you say we will not intervene.
What are you waiting for?
This is
What are
not
you waiting
Bengal.
for? The Supreme
Bengal
Court has
is how
told that it
fighting
is
like a
the
enemy.
Mamata Banerjee or the state government
Bengal
doesn't
was
have
very
any
much
right
but-
to get
but-
into the investigation of the
Okay,
ED.
Joy Malik. Joy Malik. Joy Malik.
Minister.
Joy Malik,
Try to
while...
respect you.
Okay, Joy Malik, let me get you in. Joy Malik, let me get you in at this point. Now, it's not just a supreme rap for Mamata Banerjee and her government. Of course, the court has extremely strong statements for how the police acted, how the chief minister acted, and it did not mince its words. But it's also very clearly said the centre cannot interfere, central agencies cannot interfere with the poll strategies or poll developments of a state. That's for the centre and the ED as well.
Look, the ED and the CBI doesn't have anything to do with the poll strategy. It was an investigation and they went to investigate a coal scam. I'll tell you the history. The coal scam, the total seizure in coal scam in West Bengal itself is 210 crores. It was Anup Maji, the main source is
Sir,
165
tell me one
crores.
simple
Let
thing.
me finish. This
If
guy
it
is
is a
interrupting.
full
How
scam
can he
of
go
from
with this
Goa,
show?
then how
No,
many
this
raids
cannot
have been
happen.
conducted in Goa? Tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. If it is a scam of
Look,
Goa,
this cannot go
then
on.
how many raids have
This
been
cannot
conducted
go
in
on.
Goa? Tell me it.
You first listen what I'm telling. You don't know. You don't know the data. I am telling you. Learn it from me first.
You are suppressing the
First
facts.
and foremost
You are
thing, this
suppressing
is not the
facts,
first
sir.
time that the coal scam investigation is going on. This is not the first time the ED or the
Why
CBI has
always
gone
hyperactiveness
to
before the
do the
election?
seizure.
Why
I'll tell you the
always
history. You don't know.
hyperactiveness
Listen
before
to
the
me.
election?
All right. All right, let's just
Hyperactivity
have a
different
discussion
direction.
where
Why did you
people
raid
can
it
actually
only? Why did you
make
raid
out
Exactly.
and understand
Exactly.
what both of
Who
you
is
are
in
saying.
charge of
So,
Bengal?
Barno Barman, coming
Who is
to
looking
you.
after
Coming to
Trinamool
you,
Congress?
Barno Barman. I'm coming to you itself. A very simple question. Court today did not just speak about the IPAC raids. Court today spoke about similar patterns in the past.
Exactly.
Respond to
That's
that,
what I was
Barno
telling.
Barman.
The thing is, this is not the first
Court
time
has
in West
Joy
Bengal.
Malik, let Barno Barman respond.
All right.
see BJP has put their minds before every election. They have you know used all the central agencies like CBI and ED. That's why several high courts have said CBI is a case parrot. So, what I am referring, why I am referring this to you in this show, that it is known to everyone that wherever BJP cannot conquer, they will put CBI and EDI behind. They said Ajit Pawar is the biggest chief of this country. Now Ajit Pawar is working as the deputy chief minister under the BJP government. When Amit Shah arrived in Bengal, the biggest coal mafia of Bengal, Joydev Kha, he went to receive Amit Shah in the airport, Ondal airport, and he was the guest through the BJP pad, BJP official pad. Now I want to ask what BJP is doing, what CBI is doing to the biggest coal mafia of Bengal,
Joy Malik.
Kha.
Joy Malik, come in. You have the right to respond. But here's the question that I want to ask you, Joy Malik. It's
exactly.
a chief
Let
minister
him
yet again raising concerns over what's happening in West Bengal. These are serious allegations because while you are saying she stole, it was told in the court that she hasn't stolen. And Mamata Banerjee has accused of BJP
let me tell you one more thing.
and the ED of blatant lies. It's the ED chief, the ED representative, the lawyer in court who said this to the court. So on what grounds are you then saying that she stole crucial evidence? Where did that come from?
Then the case was disposed of.
Now, is this guy going to stop? What is this? You got your turn, you have told.
All right, Joy Malik, go ahead.
Firstly, I'll tell you that what Supreme Court has told is very clear that Mamata Banerjee or the Trinamool government doesn't have any right to obstruct the investigation of the ED or CBI.
And the Supreme Court said the same for the ED central agencies as well.
Now, the point is they were not there to investigate or interfere in any kind of political matter, but the previous history of the coal scam investigation comes like this, that the total seizure in coal scam in West Bengal rounds up to 210 crores. Anup Maji is the main source, 165.86 crore. Anup Maji's earlier is 8.8 crore. Now, what is this guy doing? I don't understand. You got your turn, bro. You told whatever you wanted.
Okay, Joy Malik, go ahead. We are not going away from you. It's okay, go ahead. You speak your point. Even if he's interrupting, I'll do the moderator's job. You go ahead and finish the point. 30 seconds more, make your point, Joy Malik.
Look at the land scam. It's 6 crores. Additional cash and
diverting
seizure is 14 crores. Now, there were several seizures previously by the ED, and that also related to this coal scam. They have documents. They have leads, which lead that Pratik Jain is actually connected to this coal scam. My point is, what was the reason that Mamata Banerjee as a chief minister have to rush with a big battalion of police force just to obstruct the ED investigation?
Barno Barman, 30 seconds for you to respond to that. A question that the Supreme Court has asked, a question that the BJP has asked, and also a question that's going to decide the fate of West Bengal because voters are watching. Go ahead, respond 30 seconds.
Mamata Banerjee holds a Z plus security. So automatically, wherever she goes, police will follow her.
And the DGP?
Basic protocol.
And the DGP of West Bengal?
It is their protocol.
The DGP of West Bengal will also follow wherever Mamata Banerjee goes?
You cannot, or I cannot decide from this studio. DGP will follow the CM or not. Is it a crime to follow the CM?
During an ED raid, you tell me if it's not a crime because the Supreme Court very clearly came down. I don't need to. Barno Barman, it doesn't matter what I say or not. Matters what the Supreme Court said. Supreme Court has said it. I don't need to say anything.
No, I just want to remind one thing. The Supreme Court has also told that there will be a stay on all the FIRs.
Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen.
Now I'm telling.
All right. Joy Malik, Barno Barman. We come to, we're totally at the end of time. I gave you both enough and sufficient time, the same time. But here's the point. This is not the first and this is not the last time that we are really going to be watching. This is an issue that's burning in Bengal, and remember, it's a poll-bound state. Time for a very short break. On the other side, we decode what's happening with Greenland. Why is Greenland at the center of a huge debate and a national security whine?
इंडिया, ये तेरे लिए, तेरा नाम गूंजे, ये जिद है मेरी।
नए फैसलों के साथ तू आगे बढ़े, ये जिद है मेरी।
तेरे घर सपनों से बने, जिद छे मारी।
तेरे हर इरादे को हौसला मिले, जिद ए अमर।
जब तू बोले तो दुनिया सुने, पिड़ीवादम इन्हें ते दो।
मेरी कहानी से इंडिया की कामयाबी लिखूं, जिद है साडी। जब आप अपनी तरक्की की जिद पर अड़ते हो तो इंडिया की जीत होती है। इस जिद में आपके साथ गर्व से है टाटा कैपिटल, जिद तरक्की की।
ही इज ब्रिलियंट, लेकिन अक्सर बहुत टायर्ड हो जाता है। मैं क्या करूं?
2 स्पून काफी है ये प्रॉब्लम दूर करने के लिए। लायन डेट सिरप, इसमें आयरन, फाइबर्स, विटामिन्स और किसी भी बीमारी से लड़ने की ताकत बहुत ज्यादा है। रोजाना 2 स्पून लायन डेट सिरप हल्के गर्म दूध में भी मिलाकर पी सकते हैं। लायन डेट सिरप, रोजाना 2 स्पून।
Open it up, what do you see? A champion inside you and me. Run, sing, build, dream so high. Touch the stars, reach the sky. At Orchid School we all believe every child's born to achieve.
भारत की सबसे बड़ी गोल्ड लोन NBFC मुथूट फाइनेंस से गोल्ड लोन लीजिए और फिर देखिए सोना क्या नहीं कर सकता। कॉल कीजिए 1-800-313-1212।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है। आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
Welcome back. A familiar name, a familiar obsession, and a very unfamiliar phrase. Donald Trump is once again talking about Greenland, but this time he has added a new layer: national security, China, Russia, NATO pressure, and something he calls the Golden Dome. His push for the United States to take control of Greenland, a self-governing Danish territory that Washington, quote-unquote, needs to own it to deter Russia and China. The US president has said its location and resources make Greenland vital for national security. So what exactly is going on? Why does the former US president say America needs Greenland? Why is this massive Arctic island suddenly central to future defense plans? And can Greenland's future really be decided from Washington. Let's break it down. In a post on Truth Social, Donald Trump declared the United States needs Greenland for national security, calling it vital for the Golden Dome we are building. He went further. Trump said NATO should lead the way to get Greenland, warning that if the West doesn't act, Russia or China will. That language matters because this isn't about real estate, this is about global military positioning. Now, Greenland is the world's largest island located in the Arctic between North America and Europe. It sits right along the shortest missile flight paths between Russia and the United States. For decades, this geography has made Greenland a frontline early warning zone, crucial to understanding what's happening in Greenland. The US already operates the Pitufik space base there, earlier known as Thule, a critical hub for missile detection, space surveillance, and a missile early warning. In simple terms, if a missile is launched from Russia towards the US, Greenland is where America sees it first. And it's also the counteroffensive to it. And so this is where Trump wants his Golden Dome. Pretty much like Israel's Iron Dome, announced by US President Donald Trump last May as a $175 billion effort. This military project is designed not just to intercept rockets, but to identify and neutralize enemy missiles shortly after launch, using a mix of surveillance and interceptor satellites. This is to protect the United States from emerging threats posed by rivals such as China and Russia. Donald Trump has described it as a cornerstone of his national security vision, one aimed at safeguarding the American mainland against the next generation of warfare. And Greenland's location makes it indispensable to such a system. Without Greenland, any Arctic defense grid has a blind spot. Trump first floated buying Greenland in 2019. At the time, it sounded bizarre, but strategically, the logic is clear. China has openly declared itself a near-Arctic power, and Russia already militarizes the Arctic aggressively. So for Trump, Greenland is about preventing rivals from planting flags where America cannot afford to look away. Now, Greenland is an autonomous territory of Denmark. It governs its internal affairs, but foreign policy and defense are handled by Copenhagen. This arrangement dates back centuries, rooted in colonial era ties. Denmark is a NATO ally of the USA and has repeatedly stated that Greenland is not for sale and that its future can only be decided by Greenlanders themselves. Denmark has firmly rejected Trump's language, while the other NATO allies have avoided endorsing any idea of acquisition. They have quietly acknowledged Greenland's strategic importance. European leaders are wary of 1. Setting precedents for territorial bargaining, 2. Undermining sovereignty, 3. Triggering Arctic military heavyweights or militarization. In short, they agree Greenland matters. They just reject how Trump frames it. Where Greenland is concerned, amongst its 56,000 odd population, that's how small the population of Greenland is. There is strong independence movement, but independence from Denmark does not automatically mean joining the United States. Many Greenlanders fear becoming a military pawn, environmental damage, and loss of cultural identity. The key question is, how could a US takeover of the mineral-rich and strategically important Arctic island play out? Greenland is, as we know, a semi-autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark, and so it needs Copenhagen's approval. A free Greenland could sign deals with the United States to gain independence. Greenlanders would need to vote a referendum. A referendum is legally possible, but only Greenland can initiate it. No external power can force the question. So will they? So as things stand, Greenland is not about USA buying land. This is about next great strategic contest being played out in the Arctic and in missile defense grids. Trump's blunt message reflects a deeper truth. The Arctic is no longer frozen geopolitically, and Greenland sits at its center. Is Greenland the future nerve center of global missile defense? There's more to this, and remember, a lot to do with how new trade routes are opening up. New trade routes opening up means huge amounts of trading bounty. That's also at the heart of this. I'm being joined right now by Ambassador Deepak Vora, former Indian diplomat, Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, who's a defense and geopolitical expert. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining me. Well, first, Ambassador Deepak Vora, even as we speak, there's a military exercise, a NATO military exercise, which is underway in Greenland. That's NATO's way of telling United States, attempting to tell United States that, listen, we are in control. There's no Russia-China threat to Greenland at this point. We are here. NATO is present in Greenland. How much of that will really make sense to Donald Trump?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Always a pleasure to be here. The complaint is that you have General Kulkarni, and his knowledge is much greater than mine. Nevertheless, I'll try. I have one advantage, though. I don't know if General has been to Greenland. I have. So I've been able to talk about that with some sense of knowing the place. First of all this nonsense about security, national security, international security is all rubbish. Let me tell you two things that happened. Once, I was in the United States soon after the Chinese virus attack. And this thing has never happened in the US. I've been there dozens of times, spent time there. I served there. Went to buy a refrigerator. The fellow says you have to wait for 6 months because supply chains have been interrupted. And now I'm talking about 4 or 5 months ago. We went again, wanted to buy something that uses rare earth minerals. We were told that we don't have any because China has banned the exports. You'll have to wait a year before you buy this thing.
True.
That said it all to me. All this nonsense about security, national security. No, it's the rare earth minerals. He thought he would get them from that buffoon, Kheti Marshal, the fellow who works on the field. That's Marshal chap Munibai of Jihadistan, who went and said, I'll give you rare earth minerals. He doesn't have a drop of that nonsense. So Donald Trump is very clear, ma'am. And if I know this man, if I know his mindset, he wants it. You know, I read somewhere that 40% of the United States, this is a very interesting statistic, 40% of the United States is territory that was purchased. Alaska was purchased, Louisiana was purchased, California was purchased. And as Mark Twain once said, when somebody asked him, where should I invest? He said, in real estate, it's the only thing that can pay. So Greenland is this huge territory with a tiny population, rich in rare earths, whether it's 40% of the world or 30% or 20% is immaterial. He wants a short supply because China has given him a tight slap on the face. That is my understanding of the situation. NATO is going to scream and shout, etc. And the buffoon says, I'm going to send troops over there. What, to fight the Americans? France will be devastated in about 15 minutes if Donald Trump decides to send his chaps over there. So,
great.
Rare earth, economy, it's the economy, stupid. That's what he wants. He wants the surety that America's superiority will never be compromised by a denial of rare earths, which are so crucial for everything in our lives.
Lieutenant General Kulkarni, allow me just one more question to Ambassador Vora before I just come to you again. Ambassador Vora, it's interesting what you say because, I mean, let's just look at Greenland. It's what, 80% of ice. Yeah. And yet you have the world's 2 largest critical mineral reserves in Greenland. And not much of that has been explored or exploited, whichever word we want to use. And that's where, as you're mentioning, lies a deep secret.
Oh, absolutely, ma'am. Antarctica is the same. I was posted in Washington in the 80s. There was all this treaty, international agreement on Antarctica, who should be exploring its resources and who should not. We initially had said we don't want to, but then later we became signatories to that and we did all kinds of convoluted justifications for our joining it. But these are the last frontiers, which were buried in ice, etc. And Donald Trump is determined to open these last frontiers for the benefit of the United States. Ma'am, say what you like. his commitment to making United States once again #1 in the world, which still is. He wants it to be forever. You can't fault him with that.
Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, do you want to respond to that and take it from there? Because we have the visuals, of the US military base in Greenland. Those visuals are right there on our screen. Ambassador Vora doesn't believe that all this that is happening about security, military security and all of that is anywhere close to what he thinks is the heart of the reason, and that is critical minerals. But how much do you really think is what Trump says as national security Golden Dome is equally important?
What happens, sir?
Lieutenant General Kulkarni, if you can hear me. I think we have a technical issue with that and we'll try and get him. But back to you, Ambassador Vora. My team, please do tell me as soon as we have Lieutenant General back with us. Ambassador Deepak Vora, I mean, let's just break this down. All right. I'm sorry, sir. I think I've been told that Lieutenant General Kulkarni is back. A little confusion here and there happens with live television. But my question, Lieutenant General Kulkarni, a very simple thing. We just heard Ambassador Vora. He said a very simple thing, and that is, he doesn't believe the heart of this issue is about national security. He believes it is about critical minerals, the rare earths, the repository there. But how much do you think has the weight of Golden Dome, the US ambition, the US ambition to buy, to acquire, and its national security at the heart of this?
Thank you very much. You just cannot disagree with Ambassador Vora. He's absolutely bang on for a very simple reason. For years, people thought that America could be sided. It's a multipolar world. America just came up with one stroke and made it to the world. It's unipolar. It's the United States of America, which is #1, and nobody dare challenge America. That's the message. He's absolutely right. It's the rare earth minerals. It's the fisheries. It's the uranium there. It's the gas and probably oil if it can be discovered later. But it's, of course, imagine approximately about how much? 1.2 billion square kilometers of land, 6 times the size of Germany. Obviously, it's not for the first time that Americans have been wanting it. Go back 1867, the $7.2 million deal when the Alaska thing was done. 1868, when their Secretary of State Seward wanted it. Again, they said he's a fool, and that unnecessarily they're going for a place which is totally covered with snow and ice. It's useless. Everybody, what do they need it for? Again, 1910. Subsequently, again, even so much so that what a deal was for $5.5 million in gold, Truman offered them $100 million in gold immediately in 1946. And they are subsequently, now again, Mr. Trump, 2019, he has it. It's a deal. He says it. If you're willing to deal with it, good enough, he'll pay for it. Otherwise, he will occupy it. But that's what is it. Because for a very simple reason, Russia today has almost 48 icebreakers. I don't think Americans have even more than one at this point of time. Everyone's going through. The shortest route to Europe or China is through the Arctic. Who wouldn't want it? And definitely not America is not going to give it away. And though Denmark is, of course, being a part of NATO itself, the Greenland autonomous region, but all said and done, even though France, Germany, Italy, UK, all of them wanting to say, well, we will conduct exercises, and Americans don't believe anybody. It's not just the Monroe Doctrine. It's not just anything else. America wants Greenland. America wanted Alaska at that point of time. They've taken Alaska for the $10.2 million. They want this. It can't be dealt with in cash. Small population, 56,000. Obviously, what was once 100% and totally covered with snow, today it's 70%. Tomorrow it will just be 60%. And therefore, the Americans threatened. And when the Americans feel threatened, all of it, obviously the threat comes because the rare earth minerals will be taken away. The fisheries will be taken away. They don't want that as a free zone. They want that as possession, and with it comes the exclusive economic zone. With it comes all of it around Greenland, because now that becomes part of America. And the Americans are not going to leave it, as I feel, and I believe, and I go along with the Baltimore. If they have decided they want it, they will take it. If they have taken Maduro right from his bedroom, they will take Greenland right in front of everybody else. So there is nothing that can stop America from possessing Greenland as of now. Much that we have to all say whatever we are wanting to say. Well, might is right, and America is there. If they decide to have it, they will have it. And I think from whatever reason, it may be security, rare earth mineral, size, the perceived threat that they feel so tomorrow from China, Russia, or or for the matter from anybody in India. America, it's again back to being a unipolar world. It's America, and America won't want to, not even for a second, would want to share its place with anybody. It's them, and they alone would want to be there. $1.1 trillion will be their defense budget next year. Can you imagine? $1.1 trillion is the budget of defense for America. All of us, China next, just with about $400 billion, $400 billion will be Chinese budget, and $1.1 trillion is going to be the United States. Who can match them? It's just too sad. We might not want, we may not like it. That's okay, but we have to just lump it at this point of time because America wants it, and America will take it. That's what I feel. The way they've gone about doing things is not just for any other thing. They want Greenland, and they will get Greenland. Yeah.
Ambassador Deepak Vora, it's interesting what both of you are saying, because at the heart of it is again democracy. We saw what happened with Venezuela, and the big question that everybody asked is, where is democracy? There is not one word which was even used by Trump, Donald Trump, democracy, that he never spoke about restoring that in Venezuela. That was not his concern. And even as both of you speak what you do speak, I mean, just to give our viewers a little sneak peek, in terms of what really Greenland is looking at, if we talk about the ice caps, we're talking about at least 27% of the ice caps now having melted when you compare it to, say, pre-2001 period. That's the figures that we are getting at this time from different reports, from different scientific studies. That's a large number. And if you're talking about that, it means larger sea routes which are now getting exposed. And if that is where the heart of it, Ambassador Vora, take us through this. What does larger sea routes and a complete overhaul of the trading routes really mean for the geopolitical strategic positioning of countries that have staked huge claims and interest in the Arctic?
That's a very interesting question, a very intelligent question. What General Kulkarni explained is spot on. I mean, you can't disagree. By the way, you talked about Venezuela briefly. I thought Donald Trump was against illegal immigration, but he goes inside and brings out 2 illegal immigrants from there and puts them in his jail. Isn't that what he has done ultimately? Because the Venezuelans don't have American visas. So he brought these 2 characters, the president and his wife. As far as Greenland is concerned, ma'am, let me just tell you, I flatter myself that I know the American mindset. He's going to come out with some kind of an agreement that Greenland will be, because of its critical importance, not just to the United States, he's going to broaden that, but to NATO also. It will be a territory to be administered by NATO, with the repository being the United States. Nobody's going to fight with that. That's one way out. Look, all of us guys, we are going to make sure that the dirty Russians and the naughty Chinese don't get Greenland. So we're all going to be involved, but I will be the executor of the will. This is what is, I see this coming, ma'am, and I'm not speaking through the top of my head. I mean, I've been consulting with people, talking to them. This is what is going to happen. America will be right there in the front, because if America leaves NATO, it'll die quicker than you can say, Deepak Vora. I mean, it'll be dead in 30 seconds. So my own feeling is this agreement will come. NATO, the administrator, or NATO, not the owner, the leaseholder of Greenland, and America, the administrator in perpetuity. I believe that is what you're going to see. He won't fight. He will want to take it quietly. And even if he does, the French are saying, I'm opening a consulate, this, that, and the other. I'm carrying out the exercise. Hey, come on, guys, get real. You're going to fight the Americans? And, come on, sell me another one. I mean, buy me a cookie. So this is my feeling of what is going to happen.
Okay, my last question to you, Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, and you have US one side, you have NATO countries. Now many NATO countries have come out and supported Greenland, have come and supported Denmark. They're pushing their weight. They have their own interests in the Arctic, as it were. But it's interesting, we'll just end this discussion on just one note. Whether it be people within the United States, or whether it be people within the Denmark, or whether it be people within the Greenland, nobody seems to support what Trump speaks about needing Greenland and his definition of making America again. Even people within the United States, in the votes that are coming in and the pollings that are coming in, they are not supporting Trump's claim.
Whatever one might think, one might say, whatever the narrative one would want, he has decided not for any of the reason. Why did he do what he did in Panama? He knows it because they've invested money. Why did he do what he did in Venezuela? Because it is they who invested it. Why is he doing what he's doing in Greenland? Because from 1867 they have been wanting it. And over the years, it's not just that. Then Secretary of State wanted it. He wanted it at that point of time. So the Americans know, the deep state knows that they have now a man who, if once they offer, is, well, Mr. President, we want this for this reason. And he's there standing for them. Just go ahead and take it. You have my backing, take it. And that's where he's standing. I think the American president has decided what he wants, and I would go along with the Ambassador Bora, the arrangement. Yes, if he wants to show it in a more class form, that arrangement is perfectly fine. But the last word will be the American president for Greenland hereinafter, maybe a week, maybe 10 days, maybe a month, but the last word will always remain. And because NATO, comprising of 22 countries, led by the United States of America, who can deny it and who can challenge it? Nobody can.
Okay, I think it's a very heady concoction of, critical minerals, rare earths, and just the military might, military bases, and a rush for the Arctic. And Greenland is really at the center of it. Ambassador Deepak Bora, Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, thank you so much for your time and breaking this down for us. It's time for a very short break. On the other side, all the big stories.
A tall cappuccino with caramel syrup and cardamom.
Sure. A tall cappuccino with caramel syrup and cardamom. Sure.
Tall alfacino with camel ka soup and cardamom ki mom. अदरक वाली चाय पिलाओ ना, कड़क।
सर, मलाई मार के देती हूँ।
लाइफ हो या इन्वेस्टिंग, भीड़ के पीछे मत भागो। म्यूचुअल फंड अपनाओ और खुद के हिसाब से इन्वेस्ट करो।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से संबंधित सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
Welcome back. In a rare and urgent move, NASA has brought SpaceX's Crew 11 mission back to Earth well ahead of schedule after a serious medical concern emerged aboard the International Space Station. The Crew Dragon spacecraft undocked from the ISS on Wednesday shortly after the hatch was sealed, triggering an emergency return protocol. The capsule completed a safe re-entry and splashed down in the Pacific Ocean off the California coast early Thursday. NASA has confirmed that one of the 4 astronauts required immediate medical attention on Earth, prompting the decision to end the mission prematurely. However, the agency has not disclosed the identity of the affected crew member or the nature of the concern, citing medical privacy. Crew 11 comprised of NASA astronauts Zena Cardman and Mike Fink, Japan's Kimiya Yui and Russian cosmonaut Platonov. The team has been living and working aboard the space station since their launch from Florida in August, with their mission originally scheduled to conclude in May. The remaining systems aboard the ISS continue to operate normally. This is the first emergency crew return in the International Space Station's 65-year history. And Maharashtra's civic elections opened amid a brewing controversy over voter identification marks. Opposition parties led by the Thakres have alleged that marker pens are being used instead of traditional indelible ink, claiming the marks fade too quickly and can be wiped off with sanitizer, raising serious concerns over the credibility of the polling process. MNS Chief Raj Thakre alleged that the marker pens are being used in place of government-issued indelible ink. Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray also flagged the issue, demanding clarity from election authorities. Responding to the allegations, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis said he personally checked the ink on his finger and found no sign of fading. He cautioned against creating unnecessary doubts around the elections.
देखिए अभी मैंने ये मार्कर मेरे को लगाया हुआ है, अब इसको मिटा के दिखाइए, देखिए कहीं मिट रहा है, देखिए आपके सामने कर रहा हूँ, कहीं मिट रहा है। ऐसा है कि हो सकता है कि किसी का इसके ऊपर ऑब्जेक्शन हो, इलेक्शन कमीशन ने देखना चाहिए, और कुछ इस्तेमाल करना है तो करना चाहिए। मैं तो बोलता ऑयल पेंट करना तो ऑयल पेंट करिए, चुनाव निष्पक्ष होने चाहिए, लेकिन हर चीज़ पर इस प्रकार से इशू तैयार करके मानो हमारे जो लोकतांत्रिक संस्थाएं हैं।
Meanwhile, Aam Aadmi Party's working president in Mumbai released a video claiming the ink mark can be easily removed. The nail polish remover calling the practice totally unacceptable. The Maharashtra State Election Commission has dismissed claims of irregularity, saying repeat voting is impossible due to safeguards and voter records. A fresh controversy has hit the probe into one of India's deadliest aviation disasters of Air India crash AI-171, with the Federation of Indian Pilots sending a legal notice to the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. The Federation objected after AAIB summoned Captain Varun Anand related to Flight 171 pilot Sumit Sabrawal. They say he has no link to the flight and alleged he was called only due to his relation, accusing investigators of unfairly targeting the deceased crew. Anand is willing to appear via video call. Air India Flight 171 crashed seconds after takeoff from Ahmedabad on June 12th, killing all 12 crew, 229 passengers and 19 on the ground. Only one passenger survived. A month later, the AAIB's preliminary report quoted cockpit audio, sparking pilot error speculation. Captain Sabrawal's father and the Federation called the report profoundly flawed. And following the Tripura Angel Chakma case, harassment against the Northeast continues. This time, it's a first-year MA Economics student from Assam, Hiroj Jyoti Das, who was allegedly assaulted at the IGNTU's Guru Gobind Boys Hostel on January 13th. In a letter written to the college proctor, victim Hiroj Das mentioned attackers reportedly questioned him about his name and home state before targeting him, leaving him with multiple serious injuries, including a fractured nasal bone and blood clotting in the eyes. The victim has described an environment of fear and unchecked anti-social activity, questioning the university's ability to provide a safe living space for students, particularly those from the Northeast.
लोग पूछे कि मैं कहाँ से हूँ, मैंने बताया असम। फिर उन्होंने पूछा कि यहाँ क्या कर रहे हो, तो मैंने उनको बताया कि मैं इधर पे यूजी भी इधर से कंप्लीट कर चुका हूँ, अभी पीजी कर रहा हूँ। तो वो बोले कि यहीं आया हूँ, यहीं मर जाओगे। तो मैंने उनको बोला कि मैं यहाँ तो नहीं मरूँगा। तो वो लोग क्या किए, 5 से 6 लोग जो लड़के थे, उनमें से 2-3 ने मेरे हाथ पकड़े और फिर सीधा आगे कि बोलने कि हम दिखाएं कि कैसे मरोगे, और फिर मेरे चेहरे पे सीधा मारने लगे।
And the assault has sparked outrage on campus. Students and NCC cadets staged protests outside the administration building, demanding strict action. In response, the university expelled 5 students allegedly involved and handed over the investigation report to the police. The FIR has also been registered under sections that relate to attempted murder and criminal intimidation. In a first of its kind enforcement move, Bengaluru's Hennur traffic police have sent a strong message against illegal vehicle modifications. A student was slapped with a massive fine of 1.11 lakh rupees for modifying his car's silencer, creating loud noise, sparks and a public nuisance. A penalty that ironically exceeds the vehicle's estimated value of 70,000 rupees. The incident came to light on January 2nd when the Kerala native was driving his modified car along Hennur Road near Bharatiya City. Videos showing flames and deafening noise from the exhaust went viral, drawing widespread public attention and criticism. Traffic police referred the case to the RTO, which confirmed the car's illegal exhaust posed safety and public risks despite political pressure. The maximum fine of 1,11,500 rupees was imposed and paid, and the vehicle released. The authorities say this unprecedented action is meant to serve as a deterrent for motorists tampering with vehicle silencers. Will this record fine finally curb illegal modifications? And a legal roadblock has stalled the release plans of Vijay starrer Jannayagan, dealing a significant blow to its makers. The Supreme Court has declined to grant immediate relief to KVN producers, which has in fact sought urgent CBFC clearance for the film. Instead, the Apex Court has asked the producers to place all their arguments before the division bench of the Madras High Court, directing it to make an effort to hear and decide the matter on January 20th. This means no clearance for now, and the fate of Jannayagan firmly rests with the Supreme Court. Well, that's all we have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.
फाइनली हमारा घर।
तुम्हारी जिद का नतीजा।
मैं नहीं होती तो तुम्हारा क्या होता?
इनकी जिद ने आज इन्हें दिया एक परमानेंट एड्रेस टाटा कैपिटल होम लोन्स के साथ।
डेली मुझे कॉन्स्टिपेशन की प्रॉब्लम होती है, मैं क्या करूं? 2 स्पून काफी है। ये प्रॉब्लम दूर करने के लिए लायन डेट सिरप। इसमें आयरन, फाइबर्स, विटामिन्स, बीमारी से लड़ने की ताकत बहुत ज्यादा है। फाइबर, कॉन्स्टिपेशन से रोकथाम। रोजाना 2 स्पून लायन डेट सिरप हल्के गर्म दूध में भी मिलाकर पी सकते हैं। लायन डेट सिरप रोजाना 2 स्पून।
दूरियां कोई अपनों में ना रहे, दिल में जब उमंग हो, घर है वही जहाँ सब संग हो, रिश्तों को रंग दो, दुनिया को रंग दो।
Birla Opus Paints.
उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कर आता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
Windows down, chasing dreams on a net.
With Skoda Supercare and growing network across 180 plus cities, you never drive alone.
Skoda.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
You're watching News 9. I'm Krishna Kumar. These are headlines. Pakistani drones spotted along the line of control in Poonch. Indian Army opens fire. Third incident in a week. Exit polls predict BJP Sena rule in Mumbai. Thackeray's falter in high-stakes BMC civic polls.